This is your place for all things Grand Rapids Griffins and all things Toledo Walleye. This is the Hockeytown West podcast with your hosts, Brandon Cook, Nick Harrington, and Travis Foch.
Well, I knew we were going to be talking with some injury updates today, but I didn't anticipate it to be one of our own. Travis is now on LTIR. Broken left hand?
Yeah, left hand.
Dominant hand?
Yeah, top hand for playing hockey. Dominant hand off the ice, like just not a good situation.
So what'd you do?
Well, I just want to pre-emphasis with the point of I made the play, and then I scored twice after I broke my hand. So I'll take it. But anyway, so the puck was coming to me, and it was one of those plays where, like, I knew I had a guy going like back door, and instead of like, but I knew I had to redirect it. So I had like my feet kind of like separated, like in front of each other. And then I had to like bring the puck through my feet. And when I did that, a guy was coming towards me. So like I had to stop right after this. So like when I went to stop, my foot came up a little bit. One of my feet like came up rather than staying on the ice. The front part of my skate like lifted. So then I like toe picked on the back, like on my heel. So I'm going backwards, right? And like your first indication is like, okay, I got to get a hand down. Otherwise I'm going to smoke my head and I might get completely knocked out cold. So like, I was like, all right, I'm just going to break my fall with my hand. So, and that's what ended up happening. I still did kind of hit my head, but I was fine. Like nothing crazy. But when I hit, my hand was like underneath my back. And then when I hit, it rolled. And as soon as I like got up, I was like, I think I just broke my hand. And I like, said to, and like the one guy's like, dude, are you all right? Like he went down kind of hard. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then like we went the other way and we came back down and I had the puck and I like went to pass it. And I was like, oh, this is not good. I was like, something is not well in there. He come back over, he goes, yeah, because he seen me stop and I like grabbed my hand. He goes, seriously, you all right? I was like, no, I think I just broke my hand. And he's like, are you kidding me? I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I broke my hand.
And you scored 2 more goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got that Game 7 Stanley Cup final mentality going there.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting there. We played till 11 a.m. It's 10:30. I'm like, well, it's broke now. It's going to be broke in a half hour. Like, what the hell's the difference? So it's like, might as well just play.
But the best part is, like, you went the whole day with it. And then today you found out, you went to the doctors and found out it was broken.
Well, it was sore yesterday, but like I could like move it, right, and all that, and I could pick stuff up. It didn't feel great, but like I went to bed, woke up this morning, and it's like a balloon on my hand, and I was like, okay, so it's swelled. So like that, I kind of expected there to be some swelling, right? So then it's like,
Did you ice it last night?
Yeah, I iced it during the third. So I iced it middle of the day, and then I iced it during the third period at overtime in the shootout of the Wings game. So I stayed up for that. And then I went to bed. Now, mind you, I've been popping Advil like candy. Oh, I'm like, I wake up this morning. I'm like, man, my hand is like, I was like, my hand hurts. So I drove to the gym this morning. Me and Kelsey went to the gym. Didn't do anything with I just walked on the treadmill, like at a pretty hefty incline. And like, I got home and I went to pick up a bottle of water and I was like, oh, this is bad. I was like, I couldn't pick up a bottle of water without like a pain. And I was just like, cause like, you should just go get it looked at. And I was like, well, I got my work physical Tuesday. I'll work today and tomorrow and then we'll be fine.
Classic
and
man.
then she's like, no, just go get it looked at. So then I went and got it looked at and they're like looking at it and they're like, we're going to have them bring down a x-ray machine. I'm like, all right. So they bring it down and they come in. And first they asked me like, what's wrong with your hand? I was like, well, it's either broken, it's sprained, or it's a bad bone bruise, and I don't know what it is. So then they went through the x-ray process. They come back in and like, yep, you have a fracture. And I'm like, wonderful.
Mind you, last night he offered to help clip the Griffins game. And midway through, he's like, are you good? Like, because I was having system issues. And he's like, I should probably go into the emergency room. I'm like, what? I think I broke my hand. Go. No, I'm fine.
This is all sidebar because I didn't know any of that was happening while I'm over here frantically clipping.
Well, I started clipping. Yeah. Well, I started clipping because like I did have some things I had to do last night. Like, so I had to run a couple errands and like I only asked like out of like, because if you were like, no, I'm still like pixels, I'm like, all right, I'll stay and just keep doing this till the end of the game, then I'll run my errands and it's fine. And you're like, no, my internet's fine. And I was like, okay, thank you, I gotta run an errand. And then I was like, he goes, what's wrong? I was like, I think I broke my hand.
He's like, this is hard to do with one hand.
And Brandon's like, what are you talking about?
Oh God. Well, we'll save the chirps for when we know if you need surgery. That's about all the chirps we'll give you. If you do need surgery, we obviously will lay off on that. But
We'll know
if
in
you
the
don't
morning.
need surgery, the chirps are going to continue to come. And I can't wait for the chirps and post game in Toledo on Saturday from the team when they see it. It's going to be great.
I'll just hit him with the break your hand and then go score a couple goals and then come talk to me.
Yes.
Especially if it's that one guy.
If it's that one guy, I can't wait to see the reply to you saying that. But anyways, after that lengthy cold open, welcome back to the shorthanded Hockeytown West podcast, everyone. We are back with a Grand Rapids Griffins update. The 8-0 Grand Rapids Griffins, the undefeated Grand Rapids Griffins, the only undefeated AHL team, the Grand Rapids Griffins. What a season these boys are off to so far. It is so exciting. But before we dive into the games, we got to recap. We've got 3 of them to talk about. Let's talk news and updates around the team. Obviously, everyone saw this week that Carter Mazur is going to be out for some time, sustained an injury in practice last Sunday. We were actually, unfortunately, at that practice when the injury happened. It was one of those things where we couldn't just go out there and post, hey, Carter Mazur got hurt. Because one, we didn't know with what or a time frame. We still don't know a time frame. But we also didn't want to be the first ones to share it. And like his family sees it shared from us instead of him telling them, hey, I got hurt. You know, it's one of those things where we got to balance the relationship with the team and the players and all that. So yes, we know when it happened. We don't know how it happened exactly. Didn't see the full play, didn't see the full breakdown. We just saw him visibly frustrated on the bench after when he skated towards it. And that's just one of those things where we say this all the time. You hate it more for the person than the player.
Poor guy's got through so much. I mean, just in the last year, right? Injury at Texas. Playing against Texas, and then comes back and then called up, super happy, super stoked, one shift and injured there, and battled all summer to get back, and out of heater this season, right? It's just we said it. Next call up, here it is going to be Carter Mazur. So hopefully it is not as bad as it looked, and it is a quick turnaround for him. And this is the last obstacle for him to overcome to be able to get to the pros, right? And hopefully it makes a speedy recovery, and he doesn't miss a foot, right? He just comes right back and goes right back into it on the heater that he was on.
It sucks. I mean, like you said, worst thing is for the person, not the player. And there's guys that go through getting hurt in their younger years through college and then get to the pros and don't get hurt at all. And then there's guys that get through their younger years fine and get to the pro level and they battle injuries. And
then there's
sucks.
Guys that never get hurt and then they do beer league and then they get hurt.
Yeah, well, I'm in that boat, man. It is what it is, man. It happens, but you really hate it the most for the player.
You really
and
do.
The person.
Yeah, you hate it more for the person than the player. Like, he's got so much promise. He's gonna have a good career, and like Nick said, hopefully this is the last hurdle that he has to go through. And even in Amadeus Lombardi's post game after Sunday night, he mentioned that he's gonna come back stronger than ever. Amo's living with him this year, and he knows that it sucks what he's going through, but he knows he'll come back strong. And, I did ask Coach Watson after postgame for an update on him, if we had a time frame or anything. He just said, no update. It's not something that we're going to pester him with at every postgame. I'm not going to ask that question every single time we talk to him. We'll get updates when everyone else does as well. And if, we see him at practice skating again, of course, we'll be like, can we share that he's at practice skating again? And we'll share that with everybody. But we'll wait until that time comes, and hopefully we at least do know a time frame here in the coming weeks. One guy that we do know at least some time frame to maybe potentially be back skating is Shai Bulliam. Obviously, he hasn't played a game yet this season with his injury that he sustained in preseason. It sounds like he might return to skating this week. Hopefully, we'll make it to practice this week to verify that he's on the ice again, or maybe we'll see a picture from practice and we'll be like, hey, look, there's Shai. He's back. It's one guy that, we hope to get back. I mean, shoot, Travis, you hinted it before we started recording. Is this a player that could see a conditioning stint in Toledo? And I honestly don't see that being a bad idea.
They did it with Tuo a couple of years ago. He played 5 games and had like 5 points. So like, yep, you're coming back up to GR. But I mean, it's more or less just to get back up to speed. That is what that would be for. And that would have to be a Detroit move, not a Grand Rapids move, because he's on a Detroit deal. So I don't think it will happen, but could I see a world where it could? Absolutely. Just he's missed a lot of time.
And would it be a lot of fun for Walleye fans? Heck
Oh
yeah.
God.
Is there a specialty jersey coming up that maybe he could?
Yeah, how much that jersey going for?
Well, if he did play Saturday, he'd be in the military jersey. So
those are pricey ones down there too. Other updates around the team, obviously this week as well. Everyone's seen it by now, but Michael brandsegg-nygard assigned back to Grand Rapids. This is kind of one that you maybe saw coming. You look at the performance in Detroit, not that his play has been bad. You obviously hope to see more scoring out of him, and he hadn't yet. So he gets sent back down. And it's one of those situations where it doesn't hurt anything to send him back down and allow him to come find his offense again. And there's really no better place for him to come land than Grand Rapids, this team that's on a heater right now, surrounded by a bunch of great vets. And the opportunity for him to score goals down here should be much higher.
There's no pressure on him being here, right? He already has. We're scoring, right? John Leonard's here. We've got everybody's chipping in everywhere, so it's not like we're dependent on him to score goals. He can come down here. He can find his game. He can work on the things that he needs to, and honestly, like. It's not a big surprise, right? Everybody was talking about it. This is the guy that is viable to come down and just kind of work on it. I just hope it doesn't do anything mentally to him, right? Of like he's not in a bad headspace. He's ready to go back. And from the sounds with pregame with Bob, he's like, I'm going to work my butt off to get back up here. So, he took it in a good manner.
Yeah, he specifically went out of his way to be like, I'm not going to be disappointed in it. I'm not going to dwell on it. In his English, that is getting much better, I will say. His English has gotten a lot better since last season. But it's good to see that attitude out of him, right? That's exactly what you want to see out of a kid like him.
I think this is the one guy to where of the 3 that made it, the pace kind of passed him a little bit. I think that was the biggest thing that maybe stuck out. And like the writing was on the wall. Like I've seen a lot of mixed opinions. Like why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Like guys, if you look at the first St. Louis game, he played like 6 minutes. Like the writing was kind of there after that game that this could happen. So I'm not saying he's slow. I'm just saying this is where I went. Like if you remember preseason pace versus regular season pace, the tempo ramps up. The vets get back into the fluid of the shape of things. Like it's okay. It's not a failed prospect. Let him come down. Let him develop. Let him find his offensive confidence. His play off the puck wasn't bad. Like he played fine. I don't think he was horrible. I just think that maybe like you see like Emmett Finney, right? Like the pace is there constantly. I think it's just a pace thing for MBN that he will come down and work on and get better with. And like you said, there's no pressure. The team's already offensively playing well. So anything he does just is it's like gravy on top of it, right? Like it's just extra good vibes. And he'll find it. He'll figure it out because he was the guy late in the playoffs last year that he was figuring it out quickly.
It's crazy out of the 3 of them that he's the one that's like, it's taken him a little bit longer to adjust just based off like Emmett Finney, 7th round pick, comes from juniors and is just like driving. I can't say he's driving that first line with Larkin. Like he's making the plays. He's got the energy. He's going. And then ASB is just quickly figuring it out as well. But for Nygard, like it's just kind of odd at that point of like, he played in the SHL. The pace is still, he's not at that pace yet. He played really well down here with us at the end during the playoffs. So it's just, it's a little odd that he was the one that just couldn't get up to that speed yet. But like you said, his other metrics besides goals, he was standing out. I think he led the team in hits. He was like top 2 or 3 up there. So, that's more kind of, north-south player is how he is, but we drafted him for the goals, right?
Well, it's in some of it too. Like you can't forget this. When he was overseas last year, he was playing lower in the lineup. He wasn't playing like elevated minutes. So like this is a lot to digest, right? Like, and you're hoping like, and he was playing lower in the lineup in Detroit too, but it's just a lot. And I can understand with Finney. I think he's got a little more pace to his game. I think MBN's a little more heavy in your face. with the big shot, obviously. I can see why Finney's like stuck just with his pace and how he plays.
Yeah, he's able to keep up with that first line. Like that's a game changer right there to be able to keep up. And I that's definitely a difference maker. And I mean, for us, it's just a great benefit. We get MBN back for some time, and like he's gonna be back up in Detroit at some point in time. It's this isn't a send down, and he's never gonna make it back, and he knows that, and everyone knows that. So we'll reap the benefits of it for now.
I hope so.
Yeah, right. Last piece of news, Austin Watson, after the Griffins' Tuesday game in Iowa, was called up to Detroit for their West Coast road trip, didn't play any games with them, and actually, as of recording this, has been assigned back to Grand Rapids. So, short little West Coast trip for him. I'm sure he's not going to complain about that at all. Spend some time on the West Coast, get the NHL payday, and enjoy practicing with that team. Like, it was perfect. He played Tuesday. He would have probably rotated out at one point this weekend with the veteran rule. And we don't miss anything. We had all the forwards playing, and we just had to sit one D-man each night. No harm, no foul, right?
Yeah,
I don't see it.
nice little break. We don't play again until Sunday.
Yeah, right. Well, he'll be back practicing. Like, I have a feeling like the practices will be quite intense this week to keep them in game shape and game ready. But at the same time, there's a guy you want in the locker room around the guys to keep them going. It's him, because he can be a pest at practice too if he wants to be. He'll get the guys going. He's that guy. That's all the news and updates we have. Moving on to the games. We have 3 games to talk about. One that was played all the way back last Tuesday on the road in Iowa, the first matchup between the Griffins and the Iowa Wild this season. Winning streak on the line in Iowa. You wonder what the game's going to be like, and it was kind of all over the place. We'll give Iowa credit here. They really kind of came out flying in this one. Really kind of gave it to us in the early stages. I mean, outshot Grand Rapids 15-7 in the first period. You didn't really know what was going to happen. Iowa scored the first goal of the game. Grand Rapids has life in the second period. Alex Doucette gets his second of the season. Then Nate Danielson got his first of the season, which was nice to see. Iowa responded. You go back to the third period tied. Grand Rapids scores. John Leonard gets his 6th. Iowa responds with the goalie pulled in the last, 26 seconds of the game. We go to overtime. A wild back and forth overtime, in my opinion. You go to a shootout. You only needed one guy to score in this one. It was Nate Danielson. Gets the winner for Grand Rapids. Michael Postava, perfect in the shootout again. This guy's really good at shootouts, I've learned. But overall, a great game from the Griffins.
Yeah, it was the first time we had not been leading or tied. So Iowa came out fast. It came out hard, ready to take it to us. And we responded. Like, Grand Rapids didn't get chaotic. They didn't feel like under pressure, chaotic, or like frantic, or like, oh my God, we don't have the lead. Like, what are we going to do? They were calm, cool, and confident through the entire weekend. Even when they trailed, like they knew that what they had in the room and what they were able to do, and they responded really well. I want to touch on Danielson's goal.
Yeah.
Perfect setup from Jacob Truscott, his first pro point. Over to Danielson, was basically right behind the goalie, and puts it in. I mean, it's just fantastic on that end. Was Nate's second game back, and then he gets the shootout winner. Like, just hey, I'm here. I'm ready for the call up. Detroit, when you taking me? So I mean, on those 2 games, like, just really coming out. A little quieter on the rest of the weekend, but good to see him there. And we continue the win streak. I mean, I think that's important, especially in an inter-division game, right, against Iowa. Iowa typically has been bad the last few years, and just to get this one out of the way on a Tuesday, I'm like, this could possibly be a trap game. I'm kind of nervous about it, but we showed out. We played really well.
Yeah, and that, like you said, the Danielson goal, that's set up from Truscott. A great takeaway along the boards, and great vision to see Nate standing there all alone by the goalie and throws the puck his direction. He just has to tap it in. It was a great first pro point from a young defenseman like that, and you love seeing him win those board battles in that scenario too, against some guys that were definitely bigger than him. Like, Truscott's not a massive human being by any means. He's a smaller, younger hockey player on defense that is playing really well in the games he's getting tossed into with this rotation. So happy for him. Eric Gustafsson, 2-point game in this one as well. Great. Love seeing what he's doing with the team right now. Amadeus Lombardi added another assist to his tally that he started to rack up. You can't not talk about Michael Postava in this game, though. Like, yes, goals are how you're going to win games, but he made some incredible saves in this one. I would say the first goal, he was a little out of position on for Iowa there. He kind of looked like he was going for a walk, but that's just kind of how he plays goalie, though. He's aggressive. He comes way out of the crease to challenge you, and sometimes that burns you. So far this season, it hasn't burned him a lot, but again, another outstanding outing for him.
I mean, with him too, like Iowa put up 40 shots against Grand Rapids this game. Just a high shot game. On top of that, they had 8 power plays. 2 of those goals were power play goals. So I mean, it's one of those things where like you're already down a guy. I mean, there's no fault to Postava on those 2 goals. Like, what is he going to do, right? But he made the saves that he needed to make. He kept us in it. And I mean, he's still playing out of his mind so far, right? Like, I just love how crazy like the saves, the acrobatic that he has on this.
He's so twitchy. It's like watching, we'll get to Sunday's game, but just watching him again in person last night, really trying to hone into like watch what the difference is between Cossa and him. This kid is so twitchy. He's always moving and he's always following that puck so well. It's really, he's a fun goalie to watch because he's all of the movement. It makes it a lot of fun, and it's a good reason why he's standing out to a lot of fans right now when you look at the 2 goaltenders, because the acrobatics, like you said, he's exciting. They're both exciting, but his play style it's really fun.
Fish out of a barrel.
Yeah, best way to describe it. And go ahead, Nick, with your point. Sorry.
You're good. The one thing that I've noticed too, so I'm keeping track of the shots for both goalies of like where they're coming from, and the big difference too with his is a lot of the shots that he's facing are right in front of him. They're right in center, right in the crease, right in the home plate area. So it's they adjust differently with Cossa. Like a lot of the shots against Cossa are all coming from the right side, glove side. They're all coming from the outside perimeter. So they're doing a really good job with Cossa is keeping all the shots from the outside, which is what Dan Watson wants. He wants those shots from the outside. Because I'm looking at this throughout every game. I'm like, we're being outshot almost every game except for I think 2 of them. So those other ones, and you asked Waddy last night, like, is this a concern for you? And he's like, not really. Like we want to narrow them down, but it's just where the shots are coming from. So they do need to do a little bit better job of clearing out that front crease area, that down low, the dirty areas for Postava, because that's where a lot of the goals are coming from against him as well, which it could be tied to his acrobatic style of rebounds and things like that. But the ones in Iowa, they were just screen shots that were getting through. So either tips, deflections, things like that. But something to keep an eye on is that they play like the goalies play 2 different styles, but the defense also plays 2 different styles when the goalies are in net.
I mean, that just comes from good coaching and a good core of D-men that understand the assignment, right? To be able to adjust the style based on your goaltender. And that's what's great about having that rotation too, is going into the games, like they know who they have to play for and what style they have to play. It's not a surprise. So it's again, the defense gets a lot of talk because of the names that are on it, but you have to obviously give the goalies flowers where they're deserved, and Postava deserved them in this game. Nick, you hit on it. Iowa had 8 freaking power plays in this game. This game, the ref did not want to play build up. There was not many periods without a whistle, and it drove us all insane because every time you see a penalty called, there'd be 10 seconds left in that penalty. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, here comes another one. It was insane. I'm not going to go on a ref rant. I promise I won't.
You didn't like that embellishment in the diving or the cross check?
You walked me right into where I was going to go. Yeah, I've never seen someone get cross checked from behind and then also take a diving call. That's my only rant there. Unbelievable. I mean, even Bob's always flabbergasted by the refs sometimes. That one really had him going, which we always love to hear Bob go off on the refs in the broadcast. It's always fun. Postava was one of the best penalty killers on the team. Obviously, Dominic Shine was great in the penalty kill as well in this game. I don't know how many times we're going to talk about a game with Dominic Shine on the PK getting a shorthanded breakaway chance, but it feels like every single game now, and he had at least one in this game. The last point I want to hit on this game was just you felt the tone was set early. There's a minute 10 in the game. Lewinsky and Kanik Leipert drop the gloves and go at it. And Kanik Leipert, he's a dog, man. This was his second fight. I believe it was second fight in 2 games, and ends up cutting up Lewinsky pretty good in this one. He got the upper hand big time.
This is where they miss Austin Watson, because all of a sudden the fight total's quickly creeping up for AKL, which we noticed.
Austin Watson was not called up yet by this point. He was in this game.
Well, I'm just saying, especially after yesterday, it's quickly climbing, but yeah, kid can throw him. And for not being the biggest guy in the world, he just stands there and doesn't he's not scared.
Yeah, he doesn't do the dance and like dodge out. He just is like, let's go.
You know
It's
what's
very
crazy?
old school. Just stand there and chuck them. Like
He's not a black belt. He doesn't know MMA. He's just regular hockey fight bro. Like that's I don't want to say bro either because he's super, just very well. How do I say it? Like well spoken, even in post game when we talked to him in or after practice the other day.
He's just got that old school fighting style, like Trav said there. He just chucks them. Like I haven't seen chucking them fights like that in GR in a while. Like Austin Watson can chuck them, but it's usually more of a battle between the two players. AKL just continues to rip them, and I love it. It's such a fun fighting style that you don't see much anymore, especially when the other guy that he's fighting can also chuck him because you get just the back and forth. It's who's going to go down first. I just always worry about injury for him, but the guy seems to be a tank, so maybe we won't worry about that. And yeah, you're right. When Austin Watson's called up, you want to see a guy that can step up and do it and not have to have Shine doing it or anyone else on the team doing it. But if that total does rack up, all right, Waddy, you're up. Your turn. I'm surprised we don't see a fight rotation at this point. I thought we were going to see one from Austin Watson in this game. There was a couple moments where Iowa was mucking it up, but Waddy kept his cool in this one, except for a couple trips to the penalty box in this game.
He was vocal. I'll say that. I'm surprised the refs didn't toss him for misconduct of the referee.
Yeah, he's
assault.
had a couple of those penalties in his time, But overall, just another great game. The winning streak lives on, obviously. For a quick business trip to Iowa, yeah, you don't want to see it go to a shootout, keep you on the edge of your seat like that, but a win's a win. You don't complain.
You
You
don't
get ready for the next test.
You ask how many.
Yeah,
Move it.
exactly. Well, you get ready for the next test, as we kind of talked about last episode. Like, what is this 2-game set against Rockford going to look like? The two hottest teams in the division. Rockford's a fast and good team. What can you expect? And I didn't expect to still be talking about a winning streak when we started this episode, when it came into this week. Like, I'm like, one of them's got to not go our way, right? No. We're talking an 8-0 Griffins team here with 2 wins over Rockford. One on the road, quick turnaround, and come home and play him Sunday afternoon at home. It's wild to me what we're witnessing right now. I know it's only 8 games, but to do 8 games straight, this is insane.
It is absolutely crazy. I tweeted out Saturday. I said, I woke up with Mr. Bob-tastic stuck in my head. Odd, but it happened, right? Dominic Shine had 2 goals this game, crushed it. Lade texted me on the side about maybe an hour before the game. She goes, what do you think what are the vibes? I was like, I see a 4-2, maybe a 5-3 game, something like that. And we pull it out 4-2. 10 minutes left in this game. I said, Jacob Rakowski's going to get a goal this weekend. And he got one the next night. And I'm like, 4 for 5 on my predictions for the week. It's like, I'm doing well.
You got tomorrow's lotto numbers?
Not yet. Let me look at them and I could share them.
All right. Hey,
better
get back
luck
to me
than
on
me.
that.
Don't worry, I'll get you a scratch off.
Let's talk about Saturday's game. Obviously, like you said, Shiner, 2 goals in this one and an assist, a 3-point night for him. John Leonard kicked off the scoring action on the power play for Grand Rapids. Then Dominic Shine's first goal of the game was a shorthanded goal. Like I referenced in the first game, you're looking for those shorthanded opportunities for him. There he goes. He gets one. Alex Koenig-Leipert got the assist on that. That was added later. We thought that Shine had set that record for most shorthanded goals or shorthanded unassisted goals, whatever the stat was supposed to be. We thought he'd said it, but they added the assist for AKL, which is great for him. Seeing him continue to rack up points early this season, which again, he had 7 assists all of last season. He's got quite a few coming out of these 8 games so far. So you do love to see that. Rockford does respond and get on the board. Then Antti Tuomisto in the third period gets his first of the season with Shine and Lombardi assisting on it. We got a 2-0 goal, and it was a nice shot. Like
Nice.
we know he has a shot, but it was a nice shot. Rockford does get another one in there on the power play. Again, the Griffins PK has been good. Some teams are starting to figure it out. Rockford does get a power play goal there, but luckily Dominic Shine able to seal it with an empty net goal. Ian Mitchell and Lagesson assisting on this one. And just another one of those nights where the majority of the goals you're seeing defensive assists on, which again, we've talked about that multiple times this season. You love to see that. What I loved the most about this game was the performance of Sebastian Cossa. Again, we can give the defense all the flowers in the world for how well they're playing. Cossa, 24 for 26, but just really good saves all throughout the game.
I think you sped by a very important piece. I don't think their penalty kill's good. I think it's really good. Like, they're humming
It
at
is.
86% right now. You're doing a lot of things really well when you're at 86%. Like, it's not scoring shorthanded goals at the rate like the other team we're going to talk about later in the week, but
Good Lord.
Listen, their penalty kill, I wouldn't have any concerns when they're shorthanded at the moment with how well it's going. They've been really good shorthanded.
This is a new system, right? They talked about it prior. Wadi talked about it as they're using this new system for penalty kill, top to bottom, Detroit, us, and Toledo. Like, it is working. Whatever they're doing, they're aggressive. They're hunting this puck. We've seen multiple breakaways. Like Shine had 2 of them. A shorthanded. We've seen a shorthanded goal already. Like, they're just so aggressive, and the stick work, right? They know where to put it. They know what to do. Like, the penalty kill is it's so good, and nobody has really figured it out yet, right? I mean, we talk about special teams. I said special teams is going to be a big deal this week, especially with Rockford not doing so well on the power play. I'm like, I wrote down shorty chances on both these games of Iowa and Rockford, and we got one. We got one on Rockford. I can't remember. Did we get one for Iowa? We may have
No, we
had
didn't
our
have a shorty
chances.
against Iowa. There was a couple of chances. Because again, you continue to just see chances every game, and it's not just Shine getting those chances. Dries has had quite a few this season as well. Those are the 2 that stand out to me most on the shorty opportunities. But for some reason, it always seems to be Shine scoring them. He just scores shorthanded goals.
Wasn't the Dries highlight goal shorthanded?
It was.
Yeah.
That goal was sick. But
It was.
I don't want us to get lost in the Cossa aspect, because you brought that up, and Cossa had like some huge saves where like he had had to reach across and his stick got on it. Like, it was kind of like he picked up a little stuff from Postava, right? A little bit of flair like that he was doing to keep this game close. I mean, at that point it was second period. There's about 10 minutes left, and he's reaching across to get that. He's not out of position. He's just covering that back door where the Rockford guy had an opportunity, and he's there to make that save. Like, he did the big saves when he needed to, and he did overshoot those as well, like of covering over too fast or covering over too late. Like, he was tracking the puck really well this whole game.
Yeah, it's his game's been so good so far this season, and I just don't want the goalies to get lost in, the shuffle of everything else that's happening. Griffins are playing so well defensively. They're on this 8-game win streak. The special teams are good. We've got to make sure we highlight these goalies because they're both playing great, and Cossa is just unreal so far to start the season. And I always look at these games against Rockford when you have this duel between Comesso and Cossa too, because Comesso is like that next guy up for the Chicago Blackhawks. And you always like to see Cossa win the duel between these 2.
And they've had some great goalie battles in the last 2 years as well, between the 2 of them, because we play Rockford so many freaking times, as Bob would say. I mean, Cossa, he had almost a 5-period shutout, and Rockford finally got one on the board as soon as the power play expired. Like, the guy was coming out of the box. So, like, you don't want to give it as a power play goal, but it's kind of a power play goal at that point.
Right.
Their power play, Rockford, was like 1 for 34 at this point. Well, yeah, it still was, because they got a power play goal a little bit after this.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not going to count that as a power play goal just for the stats, but it was like when you're talking about that shutout streak ending, yeah, it was right at the end of a power play. So this game, I mean, these 2 games before we talk about the third, they answered any questions I really had about like, what's this team going to continue to look like? Like, how's that leadership going to answer when they go down? They don't freak out. They don't panic, like you said, Nick. How are they going to handle a speedy, talented team like Rockford? They handle it on the road for the first time this season against them with a 4-2 win, even when Rockford started mucking it up and doing the things they do when they get down by a goal or 2. Like, Rockford tries to make it nasty. They try to draw you into it. And the Griffins refused to play that game and just continued to outskill them and outwill them all over the ice. It's exactly what you want to see from a team made up like this.
Well, and that's the thing too, Brandon, is like last year we saw Ammo go down, we saw Mazur go out, and the team just kind of fell apart. And then we had all those call-ups too, with Watson being called up, Shine being called up, and the team just kind of like fell apart. And that's kind of where it was like, what are we doing? And like, even the team was like, when are these guys coming back? We cannot wait any longer for these guys to come back. And that's kind of when the train went off the cart, right? or off the rails is when we had all these call-outs, we had these injuries, and we just couldn't figure, like the team just literally couldn't figure it out. They couldn't buy a win. They couldn't buy a goal. And then finally, like, we start getting players back, and then we start getting some of the college guys. We started getting some of the guys from overseas, and then they still really couldn't put it together. So it's good to see, like, we've got these injuries. Like, it's not good to see these injuries, but it's good to see, like, how the team bounced back from these injuries of Mazur, Bouya. Like, we still don't even have one of our top defensive prospects in right now, and we're still, like, not missing a beat, like one of our top power play guys. We don't have Finney. We don't have ASP. We just got Michael brandsegg-nygard this week as well. And like, we're still on this crazy roll of 8-0, right? Like, well, 7 at this point.
seven at this point, but it turns into 8. And
right.
This was the first game without Watson and Mazur together this season, right? Like, this is Waddy was called up, and you go into a barn like Rockford without Austin Watson, and you go, what could this could be a bad game, and they didn't miss a beat.
Took it to him, right? Like, it just
what it felt like. I mean, the score doesn't reflect taking it to him, but it felt like we were taking it to him.
I just look back as like we just controlled so much of the game, like that. We came in. Let me rephrase this. We came out in the first period, we really controlled it. The second period, we struggled. We didn't get it. We had one shot on in the first 10 minutes of the second period. It was bad. We finished that period with 2. I think Waddy gave it to him in the locker room, and they came back out in the third and kept it a little bit closer. But it's just like, there's so many guys in here that, like, we continue to talk, like, they just give a damn, right? Like, they're not going to let this team sink. They're not going to let this team fail. Like, you have Justin Hull, you have Eric Gustafson that are supposed to be in the NHL. Like, they played in the NHL last year. They're down here. We've got guys like Ian Mitchell. We have guys of John Leonard, right, that are here to try to make it back to the NHL, right? Like, that was what was appealing to them when they came over here, which is what we got from them after practice the other night. So, like, there's just too much care and too much leadership here to let this team sink, even against, like, Rockford, right? Like, I can't, like, Tuesday, I thought it was going to be a trap game. Right? Tuesday in Iowa, a 1-game road trip. And here we are, like, boom. And I'm like, all right, Sunday, we're going to lose Sunday. Like, there's no way Rockford's going to let us beat them twice. Like, it's so hard to win 2 in a row against a team, especially on a home and home. And we did it. Like, I don't know, just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I think one thing that can't be understated enough, too, like, you talk about the veteran leadership, but, like, look at how young the team was last year. Almost all them guys are back. So they went through that rough growing pain last year in the second half of the year where they struggled. They played a lot of meaningful minutes. This year you've got, more veterans on the back end as well as up front. You've got guys going in and out of the lineup. Guys are fresh. I think that's a big thing. Guys aren't playing because that's all you have. Now, granted, another injury and a call-up could really affect that. But what my point is like, these kids went through it last year with, struggling through points of the year where they struggled to score, they struggled to maintain offense, and it just shows that when you get some extra voices in the locker room, you bring in, like, John Leonard went to the finals last year, like, kind of some been there, done that guys. Mitchell's a great addition. You talk about Eric Gustafson. He's played so many games in the NHL. He was a good NHL player for a long time, probably could be in the NHL just in a different situation. Justin Hull, let's not forget, Detroit fans, you get him all the slander because of how much money he made and maybe struggled at points through his Detroit contract. But down here, he's providing a voice, leadership role. Like, these guys maybe aren't wearing letters, but at the same time, like, they're a very, very key part of this team. Like, and it's not about, like, they want to be in the NHL, right? Those two particular, but you can only play where you're at. And that's something that Waddy has always preached well. And it just feels like the addition with some of these veterans and your second-year guys, maybe third-year pros, second-year American League guys taking that learning experience from this year, and they're not having to be relied on as much as last year. I think that's really helping this team.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And their play on ice has been great, too. Like, down here, they're playing great. Like, we talked about the Tuesday game, Gus with 2 assists. And we're going to talk about the next game. He had more points. Like, it's just, they're doing everything that you would ask them to do when they're down here. And that's all you can ask for. And I'm really thankful we have them. It's crazy to think that first D pairing, it's usually Gus and Hull. And if you're rotating one of them out, Mitchell's stepping in. Like, it's a bottom NHL pairing at the top line in the AHL. Like, you can't ask for more than that if you're an AHL team. That's the dream for most of them, to have that setup. And we're fortunate enough to have it. Yes, we have a lot of vets, but we'll take it all day. I'm very happy they're here.
And another guy too, like that's here right now and was not with the team for almost this whole second half of the year is Lagesson. He really stabilizes that D-core also. Like that's 3 key pieces. Yeah, going in and out, rotating around. Again, like credit to those, especially Hull and Gustafsson. Like you get assigned down here, you go on waivers, you want to be in the NHL, you could have a bad attitude about it. And they're approaching it with the right mentality of come here, play well, get better. Maybe you get an opportunity down the stretch somewhere else via trade or something. You never know, right? So like, again, it goes back to you're here. You might as well play and work your tail off because an opportunity could present itself elsewhere. Or even in Detroit, if guys get hurt, like, you know what, like, so you gotta, that's the thing about being a good pro.
Yeah, and they're good pros. And like what Gus brings to the power play too, that can't be understated. He's such a great piggyback for the power play there.
Well, he had 60 points one year in the NHL. Like,
yeah,
can't forget about that. Like, you got the guy like that with running an American League power play, good things are going to happen.
Also don't know why I said piggyback and not quarterback either, but hey, we're here.
He's a point per game player right now. Like,
it's insane. I love it.
I think too, it just gives enough, like, we don't have Volin or two up at the top where they struggled a little bit last year. It gives us the flexibility to move these guys around, get them to learn from these guys, know what they're doing. And it also, like, every time we talk about, like, hey, what are these guys providing to you guys? Like, to the younger guys, they're like, there's nothing but good things about them. Like, coach talks good things about them. When they're talking with Bob, like, their positive attitude, you could tell just how grateful they are to still be playing, right? And that they have a spot here in the organization and that they're being valued, right? And even like we asked Ammo and he's like, yeah, these guys are fantastic. They're helping us out. We're picking this and that from them. And we've asked, the other guys throughout too, like Tuo and the goalies. Like, it's just top down. It's helped everybody in the organization. So it's
you even had Hull and Gus picking on Ammo during his post game last night. Like, it was a blast.
I think one thing that really sticks out looking at it right now, like with these guys, like Justin Hull's a +7 right now. Like, you would not maybe think that going back the last couple, like especially last year, like he was a -7, but like you would think that the world ended when he was not playing well in Detroit and they were throwing him under the bus. Like, just not fair to him. Like, he's a solid hockey player. Like, let's not forget, like he was a whipping boy in Detroit the last couple of years, and it's really only because of probably how much money he was making. Let's be real. Like,
that honestly is it.
And that's sad. Like,
the contract that people don't like.
Yeah, and really, like, again, it goes back to the person thing. You feel bad for the person. Like, he's trying. It's not like he's not out there trying, and he's excelling down here. So again, like, just a credit to him for being such a good professional.
Yeah,
there's always a whipping boy every year. Ben Sherratt was a whipping boy for the first year he was here, and now it's pretty much crickets around that guy, right? Like,
there's one everywhere. I mean, that's what you are here, right? We love you. We love you.
Well, they got like 4 forwards this year that are on the chopping block with the fan base, and it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yep. We could go on forever with that. What we're going to do, though, instead is hit a quick ad break, and when we come back, talk about the Sunday game, give you our 3 stars of the week, and a quick update around the American Hockey League.
Hockey is back, and this season's DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player drops to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. I know the big one right now, everybody's betting on it. Emmett Finney for the Calder. So put your bets in now. Be a fun watch for the rest of the season. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 888-467369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. Pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Born in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
And welcome back. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this last game before we, do our 3 stars and recap the week here. The Griffins 6-2 win in this one. 2-point nights all across the board, it felt like. I think there was only 5 Griffins skaters that didn't have a point in this game too, which is, you'd love to see that. You're getting scoring from everywhere. Tuomisto had a 2-point night. Danielson had a 2-point night. Lombardi had a 2-point night. Leonard had a 2-point night. God, did Shine have one too? Nope, Gustafson did, though. He had another 2-point night there. I might have missed somebody. I'm sorry to them if I did. There was just so much scoring going on in a game where Rockford came out of the gate hot. Like, they were fast. They were taking it to us, and the Griffins were able to hold their own. Again, great goaltending from Michael Postava in this one to keep them in it early there. But when Rockford strikes first like that in the first 3 minutes and comes out that heavy and fast, you're like, uh-oh, is this where the streak ends? It was not the start you wanted to see.
Yeah, knowing how, we beat them Saturday, I was like, Sunday is not this is the game that we're going to lose. Like, there's just no way we're going to beat them back-to-back, right? And there we are. I figured it was going to be a closer one. And for them getting up in the first 3 minutes, I'm like, okay, well, there's the tone. How are we going to respond?
We responded with an AKL fight. That was about 2 minutes after that goal. Alex Kanek-Liepert drops the gloves again. Maybe it was some spillover from the night before because that game started to get a little messy. But at the same time, he sets the tone again, drops the gloves, and Rockford still had some pace to him for about another 5 minutes, and then Grand Rapids kind of just took over the game from there. The goals in this one, I mean, it's from all over the place. There was goals that were good shots. There was scrums around the front. But this Sheldon Dries goal to tie the game was absolutely sick. Eric Gustafson makes a great play to go down, keep the puck in his possession, goes down low, kind of just tosses it to the front, and it lands on Dries' stick, and he just roofs it backhand over Weeks. And that goal, I sat there and I went, well, we're at November 2nd, and we have a goal of the month contender already. Here we go.
I was concerned with the start. I'm not going to lie. I was very concerned. I thought they didn't come out and play very well, but they definitely rebounded, and that goal was beautiful. Definitely, like you said, goal of the month contender.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd have one that early, but here we are. Though I would go through every goal, but we'd be here. This show would be an hour and a half long. We don't need to go through every single one. But you love Raklovsky getting his first of the season. You love seeing Trail Marks find the back of the net again. Trail Max, Trail Mixed, whatever, sorry. You love to see Amadeus Lombardi dishing assists, though, the way he is. Yes, he's not finding the back of the net. But when asked about that in the postgame, look, he thinks of himself more as a playmaker already, and he's got guys around him that can shoot the puck and shoot it well with John Leonard and Dominic Shine playing with him right now. He has no problem dishing it to those guys, clearly.
Well, he told us in the summer he's a pass-first guy. So, you need to have guys around you that'll shoot the puck, and nobody's shooting the puck better than John Leonard right now. So you've got him with 9, you've got Shine with 6. Those are 2 great options, and then, it's very unique how this team is built with Ammo. And then Nate, you have 2 guys that really can pass the puck down the middle as your top 2 centers. But for Ammo, yeah, I mean, sure, you'd love to see the goals, but he's over a point per game and he has 9 assists. So it's with 0 goals. So he's using that creativity, that playmaking that everybody knows he has in him. And it's nice they don't have to rely on him this year to score and produce, just with points, with assists. So he's got some guys that maybe he doesn't have to shoot the puck as much, which he likes to pass the puck, he told us in the summer. So let him solid his strengths.
That assist to John Leonard, though, he's skating down the center. He beats the goalie and he just lays it off to John Leonard, who just snipes it in there. That was just absolutely insane. And he's had his chances. He's hit the post or goalie makes a crazy save on Ammo. It's just, he'll get them. Yeah, I think he's on pace for 80 assists for this season, and Leonard's on pace for 80 goals this season too. But obviously, it's going to flip flop at some point. You would think
when he cut to the middle and didn't shoot it, I was like, what are you doing? You're in the slot and you pass the puck. You only have the goalie in front of you. But it worked. I was like, that's where if I was in post game, I would have been like, Ammo, what did you see that you were like, I'm going to pass the puck to the guy off to the wing when you're standing there at the hash marks and you didn't take the shot? That's the definition of a guy that's passed first.
I was waiting for you to say that because I wanted, one, your opinion, because one, you've played the game of hockey. Us two have not. We can't even skate to save our lives. So I wanted your opinion on that move because I saw someone comment going like, why wouldn't you shoot that there? I had to watch it back like 10 times after reading that comment. He doesn't have Weeks beat at that point. No one had Weeks beat front and center like that. He was playing a very aggressive game up until this point. I think Ammo just knew if I might have him be here and I could take the shot, I might roof the shot. He might stop it. But if I throw this pass over quick to Leonard, who obviously is shooting the puck well, I think my chances are higher of him firing this into the net. And I think that's the split-second decision he made.
Well, it's very weird to see a guy take a high-danger shot and defer it to a guy that's in the face-off circle. Like that's...
It is weird, but Weeks isn't down. He's at the top of the crease, so his shooting angle is not great.
I understand that, but when you're in the slot, you're that open, like your first initial read should be to shoot the puck. Like it's just ingrained in your head, unless because what you're doing is you're taking a high danger chance and you're making it a non-high danger chance, and you're gonna score way more goals from the slot shooting the puck than you are from going to the side. It worked, so you can't be mad about that. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna be like, hey, would you shoot the puck? Like,
yeah. I mean, that toe drag around the guy too to get there was sick.
Oh, it was gross. But guys wait all year for that one shot, and he didn't shoot it. Like, that's where I was like, I don't get animated to say shoot the puck, but I was like, Ammo, if that doesn't go in, like, you have to shoot the puck there. Like, I get Weeks was out, but like, okay, shoot it low and force a rebound. Like, to just defer that quick, because you got to remember, and credit to Leonard, he went across the grain. He went back to the side where he was coming from, which great shot, but it baffled me that he passed that puck off. Like,
it sat here replaying for me the whole time we're talking about it. So the more I analyze it still it's Ammo also doesn't look like he's fully like balanced to make a shot. You also do see Leonard call for it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, when all you're doing, when every puck you shoot is going in the net, I can
calling for it.
Yeah, when you're hot like that, you're just going to call for any shot. I'm just saying, from the point being that you're in that area of the ice and you don't shoot it is wild. So credit to Ammo for having the guts to pass off a shot like that. Albeit it was
gutsy.
It is, because like I said, a lot of guys, everybody, 9 times out of 10, most people are going to shoot that puck. And I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, before it went in, when he passed, I was like, oh no. I was like, what are you doing? And then it went in and I was like, oh, he just bailed you out for that. Like, because if I would have been the coach and they didn't score, I would have been like, Ammo, what did you see that you didn't shoot it in from the slot like that? But hey, it worked. So I'm going to end my rant.
There we go. Obviously, we've got to talk about Leonard in this one. The 2-goal game now leads the league in goals, 9 goals in 8 games. The guy's insane. Like, his second goal of the game, he just kind of gets that puck and walks to the top of the slot and wires it past Weeks. The wrist shot was so beautiful. Like, this guy's shot is insane. And I'm going to go back to the season preview, Travis, where you said, what version of Leonard are we going to get? And I said, I think an episode ago, I think we got a better one than what he played in Charlotte. I stand by my statement.
I think it's a fair statement. But, like, again, that's a very fair question for us to ask at the time.
It was.
Like, you're coming, you have no idea what to expect. But when, like I just said a second ago, like, you're this confident, just force feed him the puck, because with how well he's shooting it, it's just going in. So, like, when they're going in from anywhere and everywhere, and then there's the ones where, like, you expect to score and you do, like, when you're living that right, just shoot.
Yeah, he came in to replace Joe Snively, and Joe Snively wasn't just a chump either. Like, when we grabbed him last year, he was coming from the Washington organization, I believe, who had done really well the last few years. So, like, I was nervous because I was like, is this guy going to replace Joe Snively? Is he going to be able to put up the numbers that Snively did? sure enough, there's a little bit more than that.
Great guy for MBN to learn from was shooting the
Great
puck.
guy for him.
Like learning to score at the North American level at this level. This is a great option for MBN to ask some questions. What do you see? What can I work on? Quickness of a release. Like we know MBN has all this, but like you see a guy scoring at this rate, it's much easier to go like, hey, help me out a set. Like, give me a trick of the trade.
Yeah, it's really good for him. And, I look at the past few seasons that we've been covering this Griffins team and what have they been missing? And it was an elite shot veteran, a veteran that can go out there and have an elite shot and score goals. We've got it finally. Like, it's a great thing to see. Guys on a tear. I think everyone on the ice shows more emotion when he scores than he does, which is really funny to me. But at the same time, who cares? The guy can rip the puck. It's a beautiful shot. I'm so happy he's on this team.
Should be.
Great signing by Horkoff. Great signing.
Well,
He's a Detroit signing.
Yeah, this is a Detroit signing, bud.
Oh,
He's a Detroit contract. But I like what you did there. I saw what you were going for. I saw the vision. It was good.
just trying to rally you up.
I got two guys he could potentially add, but
I want to talk about one last guy in this game, and it could be Nate Danielson, right? Obviously, another great game from him, a 2-point night. We've got to talk about Antti Tuomisto. We have to. The development that we're seeing out of him this season, and maybe it's just being surrounded by these veteran players showing him the way, but we're seeing a much better defensive Antti Tuomisto, and we're starting to see the offense blossom here. The goal in Iowa the other night, and then 2 assists in this game. I'm liking what I'm seeing from him.
he's taken a step so far. Let's see if he can continue to carry it through the whole season, right? And I think last year this goes back to what I said earlier. They asked a lot of some younger players last year. And I think when you bring down these veterans, it gives these guys less pressure and they can just go play. There's less pressure. You can just go out there, do your thing. Like you said, 2 assists. You got the goal last week. So it's just go be yourself and go play. And I think that's really going to help him. And it's helped him so far.
Yeah.
And the interesting part too, like he has not been paired up with Wallinder a whole lot this season. So, which has been kind of the case since about 3/4 of the season last year. Like about that time last year, they split them up and they've really started to really find their way. I don't know if they're just my question is, do you think he's just playing better because he's further down the lineup and he's able to hold that spot? Or do you think it's because of the guys that are like his defensive partner? It's now been swapped.
I think it's a mixture of both, right? You're asked, like Travis said, you're asking less of him. He's in not a more limited role, but he's playing that second pairing a lot recently. He's been paired a lot with William Lagesson, which I'm sure helps his game too. You're looking at this, and that might have been our top pairing last year when Lagesson was here, and that's our second pairing right now, thanks to having Justin Holl, Eric Gustafsson, and Ian Mitchell. Like that's a really nice benefit for a player like him to grow and learn. I'm just excited to see the defensive play start picking up for him because there was so much concern between him and Wallinder heading into this season from me going, what are we going to see from them? And Tuomisto on the defensive side has been really good. And it's making me feel more confident in his growth that we could see. And again, like Travis said, can he do it for the full season? If he can, that's huge for him. That changes a lot for him, I think, going into the offseason. But it also just changes the defensive outlook of the team. If he can match up with these veterans and play at their level, that's huge for us.
I think he just had a really good week because he had a podcast bump. We did talk to him after practice. I think that did help, give him a little bump, and he played really well this weekend. So I think that's the key there. And you even interviewed him post game too. So maybe we see it carry over to Sunday. We'll have to see.
I've never had such a tough decision picking who we're going to talk to after a game with how many guys put up points in this one. Like, it was so tough.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's your life in Toledo by far. Like Eric Gustafsson, I wanted to add him in there too. Like we haven't got a chance to chat with him yet. And just, again, a 2-point night from him, seeing him rack up the points. You love to see it. Again, the Griffins are 8-0. It's unreal. You wrap up this 3-game set. We didn't know what to expect going into it. They're still undefeated. The only undefeated team in the league. John Leonard's on a 6-game scoring streak right now. This is unreal what we're seeing. And yes, it's only 8 games, we know, but let us enjoy this. Dang it. We're going to enjoy the crap out of this, and everyone else should be too, to see the team this hot and to also see Detroit performing the way they are too. Like, they're good, we're good, Toledo's good, vibes are good.
I want to mention too, in the division, they have 3 games on hand. Well,
Yeah, 3 games in hand on everyone else right now.
Sorry,
And we've only played games in the division.
2 on hand from Rockford, and then Manitoba and Iowa both have 9 games played, and we only have 8. So we've got games at hand on 3 of the teams, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, and the next game's against Chicago in the division. That's, again, we're going to lose some games in hand this week, not playing until Sunday. For those that are unaware, the Griffins are idle until Sunday in Chicago. And then we get some out-of-division games. The Marlies come to town. The Checkers come to town in about a week. Like, we're going to see some out-of-division action in maybe the first real tests. I mean, the Marlies are 4-4 right now in the North Division. The Checkers are 4-4-1.
John Leonard revenge games.
Oh, dude. I'm putting all the money on a John Leonard Hattie during those games. Like, you feel it coming. This is unreal. I'm running out of words to describe it since we talk about the team every week, and we haven't had to talk about a loss, and we know we're going to have to talk about a loss at some point in the season. The team cannot win every game, but damn, this is fun. Like, I look forward to every game that we watch right now. It's so great.
We got to think about it as a 10-game series, right? We've won 8 out of the 10, right? Just keep it simple. That's what Pat does down in Toledo, right? 10-game series? 7. So even if we start over, all right, we're 1-0. We got the next 6 games is what's going to be important. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Bowman did 10 games. I think that's how he broke his down. Scotty Bowman for Detroit.
All I know is if they did 7 games, that'd be a hell of a team dinner after going 7-0.
And I mean, look, you're doing all this too with a power play running at 20% and a penalty kill running at 86.2. Your goal differential is, what did I say, +8, +18?
It's pretty high.
Yeah, 8 plus 18.
It's insane.
Well, when you're hanging 6 goals, it's 6, 4. There's 10 just in 2 games. Yeah,
It's funny too because there's that promotion with a local restaurant here in Grand Rapids when they play at home. If they score 4 or more, you get a free pound of fries. Every single home game so far, they've given away a pound of fries. That's a lot. That's a lot of potatoes.
Idaho better be planting a lot of tomatoes or tomatoes. Jesus God, potatoes. Potato, tomato, potato. Who cares?
That's staying in the episode.
100%. Hey, you know what? It's warranted with how my week's gone. It's just fair.
The meds are kicking in on him.
Painkillers have kicked in.
Listen, everybody knows at some point you're gonna have that little jumble, and you all can make fun of me. You've made fun of me enough, shorthanded, albeit I take criticism well.
Yeah, you do. That's why we love you. Anyways, that wraps up the games. We got to say our 3 stars for the week. And this was tough. 1, because it wasn't just 2 games to pick from. We actually had 3. But there was also just so much good that happened this week. But who is the 3rd star of the week for the Grand Rapids Griffins?
Nick?
Who wants to kick us off? I went a different route than you guys did for this, as I picked 1 star player from each game. And I was like, that's
bold choice.
I was like, that makes the most sense because everybody played so well this week. The easy choice is just say the team was the team was the third
team
star
was all
of the week.
3 stars.
Yeah, right.
3rd star of the week. We go Eric Gustafson. I mean,
you're going Gus.
4-point week for him. We need to give him the flowers he deserves because I think there's so much criticism towards his play in Detroit. And Detroit fans need to recognize just how well he is playing in Grand Rapids right now.
Elite down here.
Elite. Like the moves he's made. Like I swear, some of the moves he was making in Saturday or Sunday's game. I'm like, is that Mo out there? Nope, it's Gus. Like he was doing some crazy stuff on the blue line that really impressed me. So I think Gus is the 3rd star of the week. Whatever one we don't mention, Nick, we'll give an honorable mention to. But Gus has got to be the 3rd star.
Okay. If we went for the whole week, I put Nietupski as the 3rd star. 1 goal, 3 assists, game-winning goal at Rockford.
Was it a goal and 2 assists, or was it a goal and 3?
Goal and 3 is what I had. That's what I had for the 3rd. I had 4 star was Postava, so he stopped 66 out of 71 shots. And it was perfect in the shootout for Iowa against Iowa. So I had him as the 4 star.
Tuo had a goal and 2 assists. Sorry, buddy.
Goal and 2. So I got updated. One of his assists got taken back.
That happens to us all the time.
Oh my gosh, Bob kept saying Shine had the unassisted goal on every single goal that he had, and I had to keep going back and changing it. I'm like, Bob, stop. I'm done putting the next night I didn't put assist on anybody.
I think if we're gonna pick a goalie for this, and if they're both playing so well, we just gotta pull what Rinaldi did last year and just put goalie.
Yeah, the goalie second star. For me, the second star is kind of obvious. Yeah, over the goalie. Sorry, goalies. It's Amadeus Lombardi. It has to be. Kid's dishing the puck so well right now.
Yeah, he's passing up shots in the slot.
Oh my God.
But getting the points.
Travis wasn't going to give him a star just because of that.
No, it's warranted. He's playing really well. You have this many assists and you're over a point per game player without scoring a goal. You're doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, 100%. And, one of the things he wanted to work on was defense. Defensively, he's been a lot better this season. Give him the credit where credit's due.
I had Shiner as my second star. 3 goals, an assist, a shorty, an empty net. That empty net, took some hustle from him to get there, too.
That was some hustle, man.
He was beat, and he went back and got it, and then pretty much crawled it into the empty netter. So I had Shiner as
the most exciting
star.
call I've heard from Bob on an empty net goal either. Look at the heart from him. He was loving it, man. First star of the week. We've talked about him a lot already. It's John Leonard. It has to be John Leonard. An insane week from him, leading the league in goals. He is our first star of the week by far. But again, there's so many honorable mentions. You can mention Nate Danielson. You can mention Tuamisto. You can mention half the roster at this point. You could say Alex Kanek-Liepert for the 2 fights. What'd you say?
Dan Watson.
You could say Dan Watson for coaching an 8-0 team. So many guys. But John Leonard, definitely the first star of the week. Amadeus Lombardi, second. Eric Gustafson, third. And a whole list of honorable mentions round out our 3 stars of the week. Before we wrap up the episode, quick update around the American League, unless Nick has something else to say as he's laughing.
No, I was with you. I had John Leonard. I was with you.
Yeah, that's the one we could agree on with you there, buddy.
No, let us know in the comments who was right.
Yeah, let us know who you think the 3 stars of the week were. Moving on, update around the American Hockey League. We've talked a little bit about the divisions and how it's lined up so far. I'm trying to get the special teams filter to turn off on AHL.com. There we go. In the Central Division, obviously the Grand Rapids Griffins leading the way, 16 points, 8-0 there. You got Rockford behind them at 12 points with 10 games played compared to Grand Rapids' 8. Milwaukee behind them at 10 points. Chicago behind them at 9. Manitoba behind them at 8. See, Manitoba found some wins there. And the Iowa Wild behind Manitoba at 7. Really tight, right below Grand Rapids. Real tight, just like it is every freaking year in this division. And the Texas Stars, guys, they won a hockey game.
Finally.
It's wild.
They finally won a game. They are 1-5-1 through 7 games. Unreal what we're witnessing in Texas right now. 12 goals scored, 20 against, compared to the Griffins at 34-16.
That's what happens when you get rid of the setup king, Magnus Hellberg.
Oh, jeez.
I'm right.
That's not where I thought you were going.
You're not wrong. They also, changed head coaches and lost a bunch of pieces. And Justin Ritzkovian is in Dallas. Got his first NHL goal the other night. Saw that.
Just traded Kyrou, too.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of AHL trades and moves happening. AHL level trades, we should say. So lots of interesting stuff. Pacific Division, Colorado is leading that thing. 9 wins, 2 losses, 18 points for them. Henderson and Calgary rounding up the top 3 there. You go to the North Division, Syracuse, Rochester, and Laval making up the top 3 there, with Rochester and Syracuse tied at 14 points apiece. Cleveland, we got to mention them because it's one of the other teams out of the division we play.
That's why you're mentioning them?
Yeah, totally. Not shots at our friend Elaine. Not at all. Nope. She's here now. She left them behind at the perfect time, apparently. 7th in the division, 3 wins, 1 loss, 2 overtime losses, and a shootout loss, and maybe one of the worst power plays in the American Hockey League right now. Crazy change there. Again, you lose guys there. Trey Fix-Wolanski's moved on from them. He's in Hartford, and that's a big piece you lose right there if you're the Cleveland Monsters. It really is.
Yeah,
in the Atlantic Division, Providence and Wilkes-Barre and Lehigh making up the top 3 there. Providence losing their first game of the season the other night. Wilkes-Barre's lost 2 since the last time we talked. That makes up the AHL. We don't need to go through every team there. Like Nick alluded to, a bunch of trades have happened this week in the American League too. We won't dive into each of those because this episode is long enough, but it's interesting to see some American League level trades happening like that. Luckily, most haven't impacted the division greatly, but at the same time, like you said, Kyrou moving on from the Stars there is definitely one. Other than that, I have nothing else from this week. So much to talk about. Lengthy episode. And for the Patreon folks, a wild one to listen to with edits all over the place. If you want to check that out, like we always say, patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast to make sure you can hear the unedited chaos that this episode was. Before we wrap up, though, we've got to thank our sponsors of the show, of course, DraftKings and Everything Hockey Clothing Company. When you're betting with DraftKings, use code THPN. And when you're shopping at everythinghockey.com, use code WEST to save a few bucks off your order, and it directly supports the show. And as I mentioned earlier, head over to Patreon, check out the unedited chaos that this show tends to be. Patreon.com/HockeytownWest podcast to join these lovely folks who have already subscribed to us over there.
We've got new subscriber, Darren Swartz, Peter Grill, Joe Schroeder, Bryson DeChambeau is elite, Tyler Ingalls, Claire Boughton, John in Florida, Elaine Grace, Griffin not from GR, Rhea D, Zick, Derek Sleazer, Lori and Alan Foch, Michael Asante. And that is all for our Patreon users right now. And if you can't support the show through Patreon, make sure if you're still listening, subscribe, like, find us on all the socials, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And where else
Definitely
are
on
we, Brandon?
YouTube.
Are we anywhere else? Facebook?
Dude, we're everywhere at this
Threads?
point. You kind of can't get away from us. Yeah, Threads, where sometimes the highlights post upside down. It's it's a wild world out here in the social media sphere.
It's for our
I don't know.
Australian viewers.
On that note, thank you, everyone. Make sure you tune in this week for our update on the Toledo Walleye as well. We'll drop that episode hopefully Thursday, unless things change this week. Our schedules are kind of chaotic, and a Sunday game this week threw everything off. And next week's another Sunday game for the Griffins, so prepare for chaos then. But until then, we'll talk to y'all soon. And as always, go Griffins, go Walleye.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hockeytown West podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at HockeytownWPod, and your hosts, Nick at GR Hockey Guy, Brandon at Brandon GR Hockey, and Travis at Trav in T-Town.